Liam Neeson. You know I got to talk about this. So Liam Neeson, if you haven't heard this, gives an interview, I believe, to The Guardian. He's actually promoting his newest movie, Cold Pursuit, which I hear is really good. And I'll go see that sometime this week and give y'all a review on it. And if you're like, I can't believe you're going to see this motherfucker's movie. Yeah, I'm going to see it, and I'm going to tell you why. So, but let's go back to this. So Liam Neeson gives an interview, and in the course of promoting this movie, he's talking about racism and how racism can be inside you essentially, and you not even really be aware of it. And he says, I have a personal story to exemplify this, or as an example. And he said, I'm not proud of this, but he tells a story of somebody close to him, a woman he was close to was raped. And he said she dealt with it great, but he was furious. And he asked her, do you know who did it? And she's like, no. And he asked her, what color was the person who did it? Now, that's a red flag, but okay, we'll get to that in a second. And she said it was a black person. He said he was so furious that he got himself a stick or, some big stick or whatever. And for a couple of weeks, I guess, every night, he was walking around the streets of Ireland or wherever he was at the time, and just hoping a black person would come out and start some shit with him or say something to him so he could kill him. He's like, I was just hoping that a quote unquote black bastard, and he put the quotes up, would come out and start some shit with me so I could kill him. Now, he says if you haven't seen this, you need to go and actually read the entire interview or listen to the entire interview. Because in 2019, even though the average human being now, and this is scientifically proven, has a shorter attention span than a fucking goldfish. That's really scientifically proven. Human beings now have shorter attention spans than a goldfish. Even though that's the case, even though social media makes y'all want to deal only with sound bites and shit that you saw passed along in memes and that your uncle posted on Facebook and, that your friend put up on Instagram. Even in the age of social media, context matters. Not only does it matter, it's the only thing that matters. The context is what you have to look at when you're analyzing anything. Go listen to, read the entire interview. You can make your mind up, but basically, we should be applauding Liam Neeson. Because black people, what do you want? Do you want white people to fucking be honest or not? Now, we go around pointing out racism, pointing out how white supremacy is embedded in this society and giving examples of it. And what we usually we run into white people who want to deny it and say, I'm not racist. There's no racism anymore. You guys are just playing the race card. You're making excuses. You're trying to blame white people for shit that isn't our fault. Nobody's racist. Trump isn't racist. Nobody's racist, right? That's what we run into usually. Now, here comes a white person who, on his own, he isn't pushed into it. He admits, you know what? I had this incident many years ago that revealed to me that I had some racist beliefs. I had some racist stereotypes that I bought into. I had some racist feelings inside me, and I'm not proud of it. But I realized that it was there, and it can be there in anybody, but you can also get rid of it. This is what he said in the fucking interview. And now you want to attack the white dude for what the fuck are you talking about? This is what we want. This is what we need. We need fucking white people to be real, to come forward and say, yeah, and for people who want to crucify the dude, look, if you're a black person, look, if you're old enough to remember it, when you saw those fucking 4, 5, 6 white officers beating the shit out of Rodney King, you tell me that you never thought, man, I would fuck a white person up right now. You tell me that didn't go through your mind.
True, very true.
My wife's in the background like, true, very true. Y'all probably can hear her.
Every time I see Roots, it comes back again.
My wife said every time she sees Roots, it comes back again. We're human beings. This is what happens. When you see a black woman who was raped brutally by white people, you can go see a fucking movie and be ready to beat the nearest white person's ass when you come out of it. When you see horrific injustice, horrific, brutal things happening to people. It's an emotional reaction. We all have these kinds of feelings. We need to fucking own up to that shit and admit it. Black, white, Asian, whoever. Because honesty and honest open discussion is how we move forward. Period. So all y'all doing by fucking wanting to crucify Liam Neeson is making other white people say, well, shit, I'm not owning up to no shit. It's going to cost me my whole fucking career to be honest and say some shit I did a long time ago. That's what that motherfucker in the governor in Virginia should have done. He should have just said, you know what? That was fucked up. I did do the blackface thing. I mean, look, at that time, I really didn't understand how fucked up it was. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed of that, but I really do apologize. We all have to grow. I've grown into a different person now. I'm sorry. That's what he should have done instead of pulling some fucking R. Kelly shit talking about, let me see that picture again. I don't know if that was actually me. Bullshit. Again, black people. Yeah, it is. My wife said that's what Kevin Hart did. Again, black people. I remember a mentor of mine told me something many years ago I never forgot. Jeff Olson, the writer of the book The Slight Edge. If you've never read that book, go get it right now. It will change your life. But Jeff Olson used to always say, stop wanting what you don't want. Stop wanting what you don't want. We don't want white people to fucking hold in and be dishonest about their very human feelings that can be racist. Look, they grow up under the same white supremacist system that we do. This system teaches everybody that white people are superior to everybody else, that black people are inherently criminal, right? The images affect us all. So why wouldn't white people feel the same way? They got to recognize that shit in themselves, just like we have to recognize it in ourselves. And we got to first own up and be honest about the shit before we can move forward. So we should be applauding Liam Neeson and saying, hey, we want other white people to do the same thing, instead of like trying to shut the dude's career down because of it. That's just being real. And some of you motherfuckers, I've talked about this on social media, and people, invariably start in with all that, oh, you the boule and you bougie nigga and you an apologist. And man, kill yourself. Miss me with that bullshit. I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again. As the great Malcolm X said, this is my philosophy. When you're wrong, you're wrong. And when you're right, you're right. Malcolm X said it. He also said, and I quote, I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it's for or against. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. So I am 100% all in on uplifting and empowering black people. That's my tribe. But along with that, that does not preclude me from uplifting and empowering and wanting what's right for all human beings. That's just being a good person. Feel me? So if you can't deal with that, fuck you. Well, not fuck you. We can still be cool. But if you can't deal with that, we just can't see eye to eye on that. You need to grow more. It's all good.